The wedding dress weighs more than water. Lyra stands before the mirror in the Wolf Citadel's preparation chamber, her fingers tracing the heavy pearls adorning her throat, each one harvested from the graves of her people, or so she tells herself. The silk clings to her skin like sea foam, a mockery of the scales she hides beneath an enchantment. 20 years of exile, 20 years of patient hatred, have led to this moment. "You look beautiful, Your Highness," the wolf attendant says, her canine eyes avoiding direct contact. They fear her, these landlocked creatures. Good. They should fear what they're inviting into their den. Lyra's hand drifts to the hollow coral ring on her finger, her father's last gift, now filled with enough anemone poison to kill a dozen alphas. She needs only one death tonight. Thorn Blackmoon, the alpha king who tore her father's throat out while she watched from behind a reef, hidden by her nursemaid's trembling arms. She was 7 then. Tonight, she turns 27, and her birthday gift to herself will be painted in his blood. The doors open with ceremonial slowness. The great hall stretches before her, packed with wolves in human form, their eyes glowing amber in the candlelight. And there, at the altar, stands her father's murderer. Thorn Blackmoon doesn't look like a monster. That's what infuriates Lyra most as she walks down the aisle, each step calculated to appear graceful rather than predatory. He's devastatingly handsome in the way of his kind. All sharp angles and controlled power. Silver eyes that hold the moon's reflection even indoors. A scar runs from his left temple to his jaw, and she knows, that's from her father's final strike. The treaty scroll lies open on the altar, its terms written in the old language of both species. To end the Crimson Tide War, let the last daughter of the sea bind herself to the alpha of alphas, that their union might heal the wounds between fang and fin. Pretty words to mask surrender. Her mother would weep to see this, if she hadn't been burned alive in the Great Raid. "Princess Lyra of the Deepwater Throne," Thorn says, his voice carrying the rumble of distant thunder. "I offer you my hand, my protection, and my loyalty until the moon falls from the sky." She takes his hand, feeling the calluses from a lifetime of war. His skin burns hotter than any creature of the sea should tolerate, but she's practiced for this too, scorching her palms with heated stones until she could bear any temperature. "And I offer you my trust," she lies smoothly, "my devotion, and my heart, until the seas run dry." The officiant, an ancient wolf shaman, begins the binding ceremony. Lyra lets the words wash over her, focusing instead on the weight of the poison against her finger. During the Unity Cup ceremony, yes, she's studied their customs. She'll have her chance. "Before we drink," Thorn says suddenly, departing from the ritual script, "I would speak privately with my bride." Murmurs ripple through the crowd. This isn't tradition. The shaman looks uncertain, but who challenges the Alpha King? Thorn leads her to an antechamber, and Lyra's mind races. Has she been discovered? Her hand curls, ready to release the poison into her palm if needed. Better to die than be tortured. Once alone, Thorn turns to face her fully. This close, she can see flecks of gold in his silver eyes, like coins at the bottom of a wishing well. "I know who you are," he says simply. Her heart stops, then hammers, then stops again. "You're King Maris's youngest daughter. You were there that night, hiding in the coral gardens. You saw me kill him." The poison ring feels suddenly heavy. One twist, one strike to his neck where the jugular pulses, and it's over. But his next words freeze her. "And I've been waiting 20 years to tell you the truth about why." "Lies," Lyra hisses, her carefully constructed mask finally cracking. "You butchered him. You tore apart a delegation of peace. Is that what you were told?" Thorn doesn't move, doesn't even tense, as if he's been expecting this confrontation since the moment the treaty was signed. "Your father came that night with 40 warriors hidden in the deep channels. The peace delegation was cover for an assassination attempt on my pregnant sister." More lies. She was carrying the first hybrid child, half wolf, half mare. Your father considered it an abomination. His voice remains steady, but something flickers in his eyes. Old pain, carefully controlled. He killed her anyway, cut the child from her belly to examine the monstrosity. And I arrived too late to save her, but not too late to stop him from burning the nursery where 12 pups slept. The world tilts. Lyra wants to strike him, to scream that he's wrong, but there's something in his certainty that makes her stomach turn. "My father would never," Your father started this war 30 years ago, when he discovered his brother had fallen in love with a wolf maiden. He drowned them both, and claimed sharks were responsible. Thorn pulls out a conch shell, its surface inscribed with mare runes she recognizes as testimony bonds. They can't hold lies. This was your uncle's. Would you like to hear his final message? Lyra's hand trembles as she takes the shell. One whispered word and it will replay the recorded moment. She could refuse. Should refuse. This is enemy propaganda, carefully crafted manipulation. But she speaks the word anyway. Truth. Her uncle's voice, young and terrified, spills from the shell. Maris, brother, please. She carries my child. We've done nothing wrong. The old laws say nothing against love. Brother, no. The scream that follows is cut short by the sound of drowning. Her father's voice, cold and familiar, speaks after. Let this be cleansing. The bloodline must remain pure. The shell falls from her numb fingers, shattering on the stone floor. I didn't come to that beach to kill your father, Thorn says quietly. I came to stop a massacre. When I found him standing over burning children, his voice breaks slightly, the first show of emotion. I lost control. I became the monster he already believed me to be. They return to the ceremony because what else can Lyra do? Her mind reels, searching for the lie in his words, the deception that will restore her world to its axis. But the testimony bond haunts her. Those can't be faked. The unity cup appears before her, wolf wine mixed with seawater, the symbolic joining of their peoples. Her poison ring sits untouched. She could still do it. Even if Thorn speaks truth, he still killed her father. Justice is justice. But when she raises the cup to his lips, the bride serves first in wolf tradition. She sees something unexpected in his eyes. Resignation. Acceptance. He knows. He's known all along what she planned, and he's willing to die if that's what it takes for peace. Drink deeply, my king, she whispers. The words ash in her mouth. He drinks without hesitation, maintaining eye contact the entire time. The cup passes to her. If she poisoned it, she'll die too. A fitting end, perhaps. She drinks. The crowd erupts in celebration, but Lyra feels only hollowness. The poison remains in her ring, the weight of it now uncertain. Is it justice or revenge? Can it be both? Does it matter? As Thorn takes her hand for the binding kiss, he whispers against her ear, Your mother survived that night, Lyra, and if you truly want answers about this war, you need to ask why she never came looking for you. The kiss is gentle, barely a brush of lips, but it burns like a brand. Everything she believed, everything she's built herself to be, it's all beginning to crack like ice under spring sun. The wedding feast begins, but Lyra's appetite for vengeance has transformed into something else entirely. A hunger for truth, no matter how much it might hurt. The wolf den becomes her prison and her revelation. 3 weeks into their marriage, Lyra discovers the first impossible truth in Thorn's private study. A room she'd broken into planning to find battle plans, weak points in his defenses. Instead, she finds walls covered with maps marking mere refugee safe houses, supply routes for sending food to displaced seafolk, and letters. Hundreds of letters from mere people thanking the Alpha King for sanctuary. My father would roll in his grave, she mutters, tracing a route that shows wolf guards protecting mere children to inland lakes. Mine too, Thorn says from the doorway. She doesn't startle anymore. She's learned his silent tread, the way predators recognize each other. He believed in total victory. I had to kill 3 of my own cousins to stop them from poisoning those lakes. The confession hangs between them like morning mist. Since their wedding, he's been nothing but patient, sleeping on the floor despite tradition, letting her explore the citadel freely. He knows she still wears the poison ring. He knows, and does nothing. Why? The question escapes before she can stop it. Because suffering breeds suffering. Someone has to break the cycle, even if it breaks them first. That night, she dreams of her father for the first time in years, but instead of the heroic protector she's cherished, she sees him through new eyes. The casual cruelty as he ordered executions, the smile when reporting wolf casualties. The dream shifts, and she's 7 again, but this time she sees what she missed. Mere warriors dragging wolf pups toward the water, their parents' howls cutting through the night. Her father's voice, leave none breathing. Even cubs grow fangs. She wakes screaming. Thorn is there, offering water, never touching without permission. The truth hurts, he says simply. I have the same nightmares about what I've done. The next revelation comes from an unexpected source. Thorn's beta, a scarred she-wolf named Rena, who lost her mate in the war. Lyra expects hatred, finds resignation instead. You want to know about that night? Rena asks during combat training. Their daily dance where Lyra pretends to learn self-defense while actually measuring wolf weaknesses. I was there. Watched your father's guards hold my nephew underwater while he laughed. Watched Thorn go feral for the first and only time in his life. She pauses, pinning Lyra easily. He didn't just kill your father. He became something else. Something that terrified both sides enough to want peace. What did he become? The prophecy. The Void Wolf. The one who could end both species if pushed too far. Rena releases her. Your marriage isn't just peace, princess. It's a leash on something that should never be unleashed again. But it's the discovery in the Citadel's lower chambers that finally cracks Lyra's foundation. Following a strange salt scent, she finds a hidden pool, perfectly maintained, filled with seawater. And there, tending to it, is an elderly mere woman she recognizes. Nerida, her mother's sister, supposedly dead 15 years ago. Aunt? The word is barely breath. Nerida turns, her face cycling through joy, fear, and ultimately, sorrow. Oh, child, you weren't supposed to find this place. You're alive, here, with wolves. Each word feels like swallowing glass. Thorn saved me from your mother's executioners. Nerida's voice carries the weight of ocean trenches, just as he saved dozens of others who opposed the war. Your mother, Lyra. She's not dead. She's become something far worse. The world tilts. Again, it's becoming a familiar sensation. She orchestrated everything. Your father's death, the escalation, even this marriage. She needed you close to Thorn, needed you positioned to destroy him from within. You're not here for peace, child. You're here as her weapon. Lyra's poison ring feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds. No, she's dead. I saw the pyre. You saw what she wanted you to see. Thalassa rules now from the Abyssal Palace, calling herself the Empress of Sorrows. Every attack, every dead child on both sides, it feeds her power. She practices the old magic, the kind that requires sacrifice and pain. That night, Lyra confronts Thorn with shaking hands and bitter tears. How long have you known? That your mother lives? Since before the wedding. He stands by the window, moonlight turning his silver eyes to mercury. That she sent you as an assassin? Since you walked down the aisle with enough anemone poison to kill a kraken. Then why? Because I hoped you were more than her weapon. Because someone needs to end this cycle. And maybe, just maybe, it could be us. Together. She kisses him then, suddenly and desperately, tasting truth and tragedy on his lips. He responds carefully, as if she might shatter. When they part, she removes the poison ring and throws it out the window into the sea far below. I need to see her, Lyra says. I need to know why. I know. Thorn's hand finds hers, warm and steady. We leave at dawn. The journey to the Abyssal Palace takes 3 days through hostile waters. Mere scouts attack twice, only stopping when they recognize Lyra. Their eyes hold pity, not respect. They know something she doesn't. The palace rises from trenches that have never known sunlight, built from bones of whales and ships alike. Her mother waits in the throne room, no longer the gentle queen of Lyra's memory, but something evolved and terrible. Bioluminescent veins web across her skin. Her tail has become something between octopus and eel, and her eyes hold the flat coldness of deep-sea predators. My darling weapon, Thalassa croons. Have you killed him yet? Mother, the word tastes like rust. What have you become? What I needed to become. What this war demanded. She rises from the throne made of rib cages. Your father was weak, seeking peace. The wolves are a disease, their very existence an affront to nature. But you, my perfect daughter, you've gotten close enough to end their line forever. The war needs to end. The war will end when the last wolf drowns. Thalassa's voice carries the pressure of deep waters. Kill him, Lyra. Kill Thorn and bring me his heart. Let me show you what power it will give us. She gestures to a crystal sphere, and inside, Lyra sees the truth. Hundreds of hybrid children, wolf and mare, imprisoned in underwater caves. Experiments. Fuel for whatever dark magic her mother practices. You're insane. I'm evolved. and you'll thank me when the seas are pure again. Thalassa's smile is all teeth, too many teeth. Kill him, or I'll activate the blood curse I placed on you at birth. You think you removed the poison ring? You are the poison, daughter. One word from me and his blood will boil the moment you touch him again. Lyra feels the curse now, recognizing it for what it is. A burning in her veins she'd always attributed to hatred. But it's not hatred. It's her mother's contingency plan, woven into her very existence. Choose, my weapon. Kill him yourself, or become his death simply by loving him. The choice is no choice at all, but Lyra makes it anyway, speaking words that doom them all. I choose him. I choose peace. And if that means war with you, mother, then so be it. Thalassa's scream shakes the palace foundations. Then you'll burn together. As they flee through collapsing tunnels, Thorn carrying hybrid children they freed, Lyra feels the curse activating. Every touch between them now carries deadly potential. They've escaped one trap only to fall into another, and ahead lies only the impossible task of stopping an empress who's abandoned humanity entirely. The second act ends with them on a borrowed ship, surrounded by rescued children of both species, unable to touch without risking death, sailing toward a war that's about to become far worse than either side imagined. The curse manifests like liquid fire beneath Lyra's skin whenever Thorn draws near. They test it once, foolishly, his fingertips barely grazing her hand. He collapses immediately, veins blackening as his body convulses. It takes 3 healers and all of Lyra's tears to pull him back from death's edge. After that, they maintain careful distance, an ocean of air between bodies that ache to touch. We need the old magic, Nerida says, tending to the hybrid children they rescued. They've taken refuge in the neutral grounds, a chain of islands that neither wolves nor mare have claimed, inhabited by those who fled the war. Not your mother's corrupted version, but the original covenant magic that created both species. That's myth, Lyra protests. But even as she speaks, she knows better. She's seen what her mother has become through dark manipulation of those same forces. Rena arrives with disturbing intelligence. Wolf packs are mobilizing, but not for war, for evacuation. Your mother's sent an ultimatum. Submit to extinction, or watch the seas themselves rise to drown the land. She's given us 3 days. She can't, Thorn starts. She can, Lyra interrupts, understanding flooding through her. The blood curse on me was just practice. She's been weaving something larger, using the pain and death of the war to fuel it. Every body that's fallen, every drop of blood spilled. She's been collecting power from it all. The answer comes from the children, of all sources. A young hybrid girl named Pearl, scales scattered across wolf fur, speaks up during dinner. Why don't you just sing the old song backwards? Everyone stares. Pearl shrinks back, but continues. My grandmother, before she died, she said the first wolves came from the sea, and the first mirror came from the moon. There was a song that split them apart, maybe singing it backwards. It's absurd. It's mythology. It's their only chance. Thorn and Lyra split up, each seeking half of the solution. He goes to the wolf archives, hidden in mountain caves where the eldest shamans preserve memories in crystallized howls. She descends to the forgotten trenches, where mere civilization began, where the first songs supposedly still echo in the bones of ancient whales. In the depths, Lyra finds more than history. She finds the truth about herself. The curse her mother wove into her bloodstream isn't just a weapon. It's a connection to the original magic. She was bred to be a conduit, designed from birth to channel forces that could reshape the world. Her mother had always intended to hollow her out, use her as a vessel for the apocalypse she planned. But conduits can channel in both directions. Thorn's discovery mirrors hers. The Void Wolf isn't just a prophecy of destruction. It's a guardian role, meant to maintain balance between land and sea. His transformation that night wasn't random violence. It was an ancient imperative triggered by the breaking of fundamental laws. When her father killed hybrid children, he violated the covenant that separated yet bound the species. They reconvene as Thalassa's deadline approaches. Already, the seas are rising unnaturally, tide pools appearing miles inland, wolves fleeing to higher ground. The hybrid children are getting sick, their dual nature making them vulnerable to the magical imbalance. I know what we have to do, Lyra says, not looking at Thorn because looking hurts almost as much as touching, but it will probably kill me. Then we find another way. There is no other way. She finally meets his eyes, silver to green, moon to sea. I need to channel the original covenant through myself, use the curse she put in me against her. But to do that, I need an anchor to both worlds. I need you. The curse will kill us both if we're lucky. If we're not, it will just kill you and leave me as her puppet. She manages a bitter smile. But the children, both species, they'll survive. The war will end. Rena interrupts with worse news. Thalassa isn't waiting. The seas are moving wrong, pulling back from the shores in the telltale sign of a tsunami. But this one won't stop at the coastline. It will swallow everything, drown the entire world to purify it. They gather on the highest island peak, the hybrid children arranged in a circle around them, representatives of the union that should have been. Narita stands ready with the fragment of the original song she's managed to reconstruct. Wolves and mare who fled to neutral ground watch from a distance, understanding that they're witnessing either the end of everything or the beginning of something new. Lyra stands in the center, feeling the curse pulse with her heartbeat. Her mother's magic seeks her, trying to activate the poison in her blood. She can feel Thalassa's consciousness pressing against her mind, trying to hollow her out and wear her like a skin. Whatever happens, she tells Thorn, know that I chose this. I chose you. I chose peace. I know, he replies, and she hears 1,000 unspoken words in those 2 syllables. She begins to sing, not the corrupted war songs her mother taught her, but something older, pulled from whale bones and wolf howls, from the memory of when the world was one. The hybrid children join in, their voices a bridge between worlds. The curse in her blood responds, burning, trying to consume her from within. Thorn steps into the circle. The moment he touches her, agony explodes through both their bodies. The curse activates fully, poison spreading from her veins to his, trying to unmake them both. But instead of pulling away, he holds tighter, and she understands. The pain isn't just destruction, it's transformation. Her mother appears then, not physically but magically, rising from the retreating seas as a towering projection of bioluminescent rage. You dare use my gift against me? It was never your gift. Lyra gasps through the pain. You stole it, corrupted it. But the original magic remembers what it's supposed to be. The song changes, becomes something neither mer nor wolf but both, and more. The hybrid children's voices grow stronger, and suddenly Lyra understands what Pearl meant about singing backwards. Not literally reversing the words, but reversing the intention. The original song separated the species to save them from destroying each other. This song rejoins them, not physically, but spiritually, acknowledging that they were always meant to be connected. Thalassa's image shrieks, trying to seize control of the magic, but she can't. She built her power on pain and separation, and this magic is fueled by connection and sacrifice. Lyra feels her mother's carefully hoarded power begin to unravel, pulled into the new weaving they're creating. But the cost is becoming clear. The curse is consuming Lyra from within, and through their connection it's killing Thorn too. His hair has gone white, his body trembling as the poison spreads. She can feel his heartbeat faltering, matching her own failing rhythm. Let go, she whispers. Save yourself. Never, he replies, and pulls her closer. That's when the children do something unexpected. Pearl steps forward, placing her small-scaled and furred hand over their joined ones. Then another child, then another, until all the hybrids are connected in an expanding circle. They're not just singing now. They're sharing their life force, their dual nature acting as a filter for the poison. We're the bridge, Pearl says simply. We always were. The magic shifts again, and Lyra sees it clearly. The curse breaking, the poison transforming into something else. Not destruction, but change. Her scales begin to fade, not into human skin, but into something new. Skin that can breathe in both air and water, legs that can become a tail at will, a body that belongs fully to neither world, and therefore to both. Thorn is changing too, his wolf nature becoming fluid, adaptable, not trapped between forms, but free to choose, moment by moment, what he needs to be. Thalassa's shriek of rage becomes a wail of despair as her stolen power dissipates entirely. The tsunami collapses, waters returning to their normal levels. Her projected image begins to fade, but not before Lyra sees her mother's face clearly, not the monster she'd become, but the frightened, grief-maddened woman underneath. "Mother," Lyra says, and for a moment, Thalassa's eyes clear. "My daughter," she whispers. "What have I done?" Then she's gone, pulled back to her abyssal palace, powerless now, left with nothing but the weight of her choices. The song ends. The magic settles. Lyra and Thorn collapse but don't die. The children support them, their combined strength having filtered the curse into evolution rather than extinction. In the days that follow, as news spreads of the change, something unprecedented happens. Some wolves choose to undergo the transformation, gaining the ability to survive in water. Some mere choose it too, wanting to walk on land. Not all. Many prefer to remain as they were, but enough to begin building something new. The hybrid children, no longer abominations but bridges, become the first generation of teachers in the new world. Pearl becomes Lyra's advisor, wise beyond her years, helping navigate the complex peace negotiations that follow. Thalassa remains in her abyss, stripped of power but not executed. Lyra visits her once, finding not a monster but a broken woman, aged centuries in days. "I started with love," her mother says, touching Lyra's transformed skin with wonder and regret. "I loved your father so much that when he died, I let that love become poison." "I know," Lyra replies, and she does. She felt it herself, the way grief can corrupt into vengeance, love into obsession. "But I chose differently, because you're stronger than I was." "No," Lyra says, thinking of Thorn, the children, everyone who held her up when she would have fallen. "Because I wasn't alone. The new world isn't perfect. Tensions remain between traditionalists of both species. Some wolves still fear the sea, some mere still distrust the land. But for the first time in centuries, their children play together in the shallows where land meets water, and their laughter sounds like hope. Lyra stands on the beach at sunset, neither fully mer nor fully human, watching Thorn teach wolf pups and mere children how to change, how to choose, how to be bridges themselves. Her hand finds his without burning, their curses transformed into gifts. "Do you miss it?" he asks. "Being purely mer?" She considers, feeling the pull of the deep waters she can still visit but no longer needs, the strength of legs that can walk or swim as she chooses. "Do you miss being only wolf?" "No," he says immediately. "This is better, harder, more complex, but better." "Then there's your answer." Pearl runs up, dragging a young wolf pup and a mere child behind her. "Lyra, Thorn, they won't believe me about the backward song. Tell them the story again?" And so they do, as the sun sets and the moon rises, as the tide comes in and goes out, as the world continues its ancient dance with new steps. They tell the story of a war that ended not with victory, but with transformation, not with purity, but with mixing, not with revenge, but with the radical, dangerous, necessary act of choosing love over fear. The curse became a gift, the poison became medicine. The princess who came to kill a king became the bridge between worlds. And in the place where the sea meets the shore, where neither fully rules but both exist, they're building something that neither prophecy nor plan could have predicted. A future where being both is better than being pure, where love isn't about conquest, but about choosing to hold on even when it hurts, and where the greatest strength isn't in destroying your enemy, but in discovering they were never your enemy at all, just another broken soul, trying to heal the wrong way. The last mermaid princess and the Alpha King did end the war, just not in the way anyone expected. They ended it by refusing to be only what they were born to be, choosing instead to become what the world needed them to become. Proof that transformation is possible, that cycles can be broken, and that sometimes the most dangerous love is the one that saves everyone.